I'm Tiffany Jones and I'm from Brunswick, Maine. It feels like just yesterday that I made this decision to join Sean Swarner and climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And my mindset along the way has been, you know, my hope is that I climb Mount Kilimanjaro. That is my goal. How I get there each day is like, do this next little thing and then see, right? Because I feel like there's a million reasons why I should not be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. So I have been working with Sean Swarner for probably the past year and a half. And he would say, oh, I can't wait for you to join. You'll see, Tiffany, when you get there. And I would say in my mind, okay, yeah, someday. But it was really in January when my mom passed away that I knew I couldn't say someday anymore. And this is it. My cancer journey really began with my dad. And he was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I was about 20, so it was probably about 30 years ago now. It was just such a life-changing experience, right? As, you know, an older daughter with, you know, watching my dad, wanting to be there for him, but also wanting to have my life, but also feeling that need to be there and take care of him. And I was so grateful for his team of, you know, oncologists, and also that is when we first got connected with Cancer Community Center in South Portland. I'm so grateful. I remember those meetings, you know, getting to have with like other families or like being in that community feeling, because I think that's when, you know, and again, 30 years ago, it was not talked about like it is today. Right. And so having a center, a community that you could share openly with was life-changing for all of us. You know, I can remember all of those treatment times so clearly, right? They're like, you know, him, the first time he lost his hair, you know, and realizing that you lose your nose hairs. And no one tells you these things maybe until your nose won't stop running. And, you know, I can remember that super clearly. And just how much like it affects all of us to watch the people that you love go through it. And you feel a sense of out of control. Like, what can I really do? And so you look for things that you can do, right? And he went, you know, he had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma for a long time. He just passed away 6 years ago. You know, he passed away, and it was 4 months after that my mom got diagnosed with ovarian cancer. So my mom's journey, I feel, was so much quicker. It was so much different. It was very different than my dad's. It was, you know, she lost her hair and lost her energy. But when it was when my mom passed away in January that I, you know, had been talking to Sean and knew about this trip to Kilimanjaro, that it was something. But of course, I had a million reasons why I couldn't do it, right? I'm a 51-year-old mom of two. Like, there's reason 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like, I can't go to Kilimanjaro. I am like a 10-year-old daughter, and you know, and I hadn't been to a gym, and I had a million reasons why I couldn't go, but I knew that I had to do something. And so again, I was like, okay, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know how I am going to get there, but I know that I have to do this. And so that's where my journey began. I came to the gym in February and started my gym training classes, and, you know, and all along the way, it's been, you know, my thing right here is that I am going to reach that summit. I am going to summit Mount Kilimanjaro. But so often we hear about people that have done that, and then we see their photos of them, but what I really want to share with people is the journey of how I got there. Because anything is possible if you want it to be. If you want it to be, it can be possible. So that has been why I've been wanting to share this message with people, is to give them hope, you know, that anything is possible if you want to try. And why not, right? So what do I have to lose? Why try? Okay, so I joined a gym. I was like, worst case scenario, I get a little more in shape. So I did that, and then the next hurdle that I faced was a huge one with finances. I put it out on GoFundMe, and I told my story, and I said, you know, this is my journey to kick cancer's butt. One day I woke up and Grape Nuts had funded my GoFundMe. So I looked up, and it turns out Grape Nuts turns 125 years this year. I hadn't thought about Grape Nuts in probably 10 years. I love Grape Nuts, and it was my dad's favorite cereal. I know that it's meant to be. They found 9 women's GoFundMes and funded them. And, you know, I am one of those 9 women. What happened was, I realized that if this part of my trip is funded, what I really want to do is like give back more. And so now it's allowed me to find ways to give back to the Dempsey Center, which has given me and my family, you know, 30 years worth of services and love. I mean, one of the hardest calls that I had to make after my mom passed away was to her massage person, Michael, at the Dempsey Center. And I can still hear Michael's voice, and I can't wait to meet Michael and give him a hug. But, you know, my mom was so connected to that Dempsey Center, and it gave us all hope. It gave us all hope. And I'm so grateful. So I can now give back. It was really, really, actually, I got funding in March from Grape Nuts, and it was April that I go in to get, with my BRCA2, I go in to do my mammogram, and I do an MRI every 6 months. And they found, you know, something. They had found some breast cancer. Yeah, I was shocked, and but what do you do? What do you do? And you know, it instantly gave me more fire to my fight. I was like, wow, it can't get any more personal than this now. I mean, it already was a passion project, but now it's personal. I'm so grateful for early detection, and I am so grateful for the experience. I, you know, would watch people go through this and stuff and wonder how they could. And now I know that it really is that one step at a time. And you know, but when I you know, got the diagnosis and I went in, I was like, I am climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Whatever I need to do. She worked it around, and so, you know, I had a lumpectomy. I am recovering really well. And again, it's kind of that step by step, like, I mean, a million things could happen right now. You know, we really have this moment. This is it. And if anything, the perspective that cancer gives you is powerful, to be able to look at life and know that that is true. And it fuels my fire. It's fueling my fire. I'm gonna kick cancer's butt.